why are we even having this conversation? Some might say, Dr. Jane, surely it should already have been banned.
Well, you would think so, wouldn't you? You would think that as we're in the sixth great extinction, as most of the animals being given licenses to hunt and kill are endangered, at least many of them are. And we now know that animals are sentient beings. They can solve problems. They can feel fear and pain, just like us. And so the fact that we're allowing people to go out and shoot them for fun, for sport, is something that shouldn't be happening in this day and age, according to me.
Dr. Adam, 6 separate African countries have got a different view.
Yeah, so there's a big kickback against this bill from governments of some African countries. And I mean, we've got to just state that those African countries are in a minority in Africa. There's only a dozen or so African countries that allow trophy hunting. Those countries, they have a vested interest in trophy hunting, a vested interest for the government and for those that benefit from trophy hunting, which is a minority few. It doesn't represent the views of Africans, and certainly from Africans in those countries.
And Dr. Jane, they say, the argument goes, that they need this money for conservation and also to keep poachers at bay. What would you say in response to that?
Well, first of all, most of the money does not go to conservation. It goes in various other directions. And, you know, talking to some of the rangers who spend and give their lives trying to protect animals, they are completely horrified that while they are protecting them, people come along with money from the white world and can kill them for fun. And they don't understand it. More and more ordinary Africans simply don't understand it. And I don't see how hunting can stop poaching.
Can you, Doctor, in the studio?
No, I mean, hunting does not stop poaching. It certainly doesn't go to communities. I mean, you can run the numbers. We've worked out that the money from trophy hunting, if it does get to the communities, amounts to 10 pence per person per year. That's on average. The British trophy hunters' contribution to Africa is 1 penny for every 10,000 people. The fact that that doesn't even get to the communities, is another story. But basically, trophy hunting is this horrible, horrible practice with this narrative that it's benefiting wildlife and it's benefiting people. It doesn't. It does quite the opposite. I mean, we even have a situation in Tanzania where 70,000 Maasai are getting evicted to make way for a reserve for trophy hunting. Now, how does that benefit communities?
Dr. Jane, the other argument is that the meat, so it's just the head and the pelt that can be imported. The meat is given to local communities to feed them.
Well, I mean, a lot of the meat, the local communities, they don't want to eat lions or leopards. It's not part of their diet. So it's just, you know, the odd elephant and giraffe. But I don't know. I come back again and again and again to the fact that there's no proof. In fact, there's proof to the opposite, that this hunting is not doing anything to conserve wildlife. I haven't made a study of it, but Eduardo Gonzalez spent years and years. He wrote 3 books about the subject. And it's just a fallacy that the communities really benefit and that conservation really benefits. And that, you know, there's one other thing that I think is important to mention, and that is we're still actually in the throes of suffering from the pandemic, the recent pandemic. That came from a stressed animal being bought in a market. And from that stressed animal, a virus jumped from the animal to the person and actually bonded with the cell in her body, and that led to the pandemic. Well, these hunters, you know, they're pictured sitting with the head of a wild animal on their lap as they grin and gloat, having shot them from very close to a car with no danger to themselves at all. And it's quite possible that a virus can jump over from that stressed animal as it
Okay.
was dying